Hey guys, welcome back to the Tea Party podcast on the Outcast Anime channel. I'm No Soul Nora, and today I'm joined with
Jesus Kun.
Red Rantic.
Dio.
Three.
and it's been a hot minute, guys, but we are back, and today we're going to be reviewing. It's been a couple months, but today we're going to be reviewing the full 2019 season and our impressions of all the shows so far. They've got some pretty big hitters this season, and we're also going to be looking at the winter 2020 season and what anime we're going to be seeing going into that 2020 year. So, to start us off, we're going to be talking about some of the sequels that have been happening pretty recently. We've got 4 major ones, and we're going to start with the elephant in the room. Haha, fuck you. We've got
My Hero Academia.
Academia. No.
Wait,
Have you guys heard about My Hero Academia?
What? When did that come out?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish it didn't. But yeah, we've got the 4th season of My Hero Academia, and from the first 8 episodes, it's actually been not too bad, I don't think. I've been enjoying it significantly more than the 3rd season, I'll tell you that much.
Well, it still doesn't live up to the 2nd season.
Second season, the fights were pretty insane, and the 3rd season, it really kind of just let it down in terms of the characterization, I'd say.
What were you about to say, T-Tree?
I think he was mentioning that it was it's getting a lot better in the manga.
Getting a lot better.
The manga. Oh, of course, the manga.
Of course, the manga.
Damn
First,
manga
up
readers.
to the manga.
The characters. There's been a lot more characterization with some of the characters that we didn't see as much of in previous seasons, like Kirishima. I know he had some pretty significant development. That was pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed that.
I think he's probably come up to be one of my favorite characters. I think his morals and his standing in the hero world are a lot better than and a lot more interesting, frankly, than Deku and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, he got a fat power up.
He did get a
They
fat
introduced-
power up.
He's gone
Have they
hard
introduced
mode.
the inspiration to Kirishima?
No, not yet.
Not yet, I
Not
don't
yet,
think.
okay. Never mind.
But I've been enjoying it a fair bit. I think this arc is a lot more interesting
Yeah.
than the previous arcs.
Can't wait for Deku. I can't wait for Deku to go his full power.
Saiyan Ultra.
Yeah, Super Saiyan Ultra with with that little chick.
Yeah, I must admit, I think Eri's probably waifu of the season. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you and put
legal.
Put Rindo up there.
Legal.
I mean, speaking of Rindo, let's move on to the second big sequel of the season. We've got Shokugeki no Soma, actually.
The 4th season. Yes.
The 4th season.
Fourth plate.
The 4th plate. The 4th plate.
Yes.
As if there
Plates,
hasn't
4 of
been
them.
more than 4 plates of food thus far.
There's been 2.5 plates last season.
But
Yeah. Well.
Yes,
We're
enjoyed the
actually-
half plates.
we're actually seeing a lot of plates in the current tournament arc.
Yeah.
With the Team
I wouldn't call it
Shokugekis.
a tournament arc. It's more of a.
As you'd expect from a cooking show.
Yeah. Of course. It's
But
sitting on a steady rating of 8. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's pretty good at the moment.
but the
A lot of action.
the
A lot of
current
ecchi.
the current Team Shokugeki that's going on is probably one of the best arcs that this show has, I would say. I would say that it is a bit fast-paced, and I don't think some of the Shokugekis are getting enough attention as they should have. But what do you guys think about that?
I think the fast pacing is really good because when you see cooking in real life, it's really slow and meticulous. And by having the fast pacing, it kind of gets that hype and tension.
Yeah. It makes it a bit more interesting. Isn't that right? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does come with the problems though. Like, it does start to seem unrealistic when times of it's a 1-minute skip and they're getting plates out, and then they go on about eating this food for about half the episode, and then it seems like an hour later, the next person will get their dish out. Like, it's just making that unrealistic time in the cooking, it seems. But other than that, I say I'm really enjoying the season so far. It's some of the Shokugekis have really been exciting.
I also feel like it's delving into the backstories of the Elite Ten a lot more, and it's been really good. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I'd say the first and second season were probably better than this, but it's showing a lot more action, which is a bit better to see.
Yeah.
I do miss the montages of the cooking that they used to do back in season 1, especially.
Oh yes.
And I thought that built a lot more tension for the fights and a lot more interest in the actual processes of cooking and actually get the audience a bit more involved. But
I've also really like toned down the food gasms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit.
It really toned it down.
It deeply saddens me.
It's really disappointing.
I haven't seen full skin in like 5 episodes.
2 episodes.
Mm.
Oh,
Except last episode where we saw like that woman and she had like
Yeah.
Good old
I-
Anne.
kind of cool.
I have to say though, I'm excited for Soma to go Super Saiyan against what I assume to be his battle between Tsukasa.
Mm.
So that'll be pretty interesting.
mm.
And then we'll move.
Close to ending, though. The series is pretty close.
Yeah, it's
Is
almost
it close to
finished.
ending? I actually
Yeah.
didn't realize
The
that.
manga-
It's
the
really
manga's
close
finished.
to ending.
The manga's
Yeah.
finished.
I mean, obviously the manga's finished, but in terms of how many anime episodes we've got left,
It was
After
around
that arc,
16.
there's one more arc, and that's it.
that's interesting. Well, we'll move on to we'll move on to the third sequel of a show that I must say I can despise and
Oh no.
definitely get behind. We'll go on to Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld by A1 Pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Jesus Kun, you can take this away.
I don't think you guys have.
While I'll wither and despise.
Yes, you guys have not watched Sword Art Online nor experienced its glory. So, this season of Alicization is looking to be really good. Actually, I've actually made a video on it. So if you guys want to check that out, link in the description. No plug, but no plug, but like, yeah, it's really good. So far we've had not a huge amount of action, but there's been a lot of plot, which is nice. Obviously Kirito is not part of the show
Two is a
at
vegetable.
the
God.
moment. Yeah, he's kind of a vegetable. Looking like my carrots on the plate, but that's probably a relief to most haters. Yeah,
I would
We've seen a lot of
I would
development with-
I would genuinely say that without Kirito, the series would be a lot more palatable.
you mean if Klein was the main character?
Oh my
I mean, that would just make it a 10 out of 10 though. We're not aiming for that. We're just aiming to make it palatable.
Yeah, but
As someone who, oh sorry, you continue.
no, you continue. I've said a fair bit.
As someone who has not watched Sword Art Online yet, I have to ask, how much sword art is there?
There's a lot of sword art. Yes, they use swords. That's
No,
and
but is there art of swords?
The anime is an
Like-
art form.
Well, you see, they use a lot of sword. So you could describe a sword skill as a sword art, right? So there's in that respect, there is a lot of sword art. Yes.
This is really dumb, I must say.
But if you
I
haven't
am
watched it,
pleased.
if you haven't watched it, you should watch the first couple seasons for the meme, and then actually have some respect for Alicization because it's actually good.
No.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to decline that, sorry.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's very good. So that's all I have to say about that one.
But we'll move on to the somewhat controversial Seven Deadly Sins sequel. So this is a little bit controversial because of the change in studio, and there is also a bit of controversy surrounding the censorship of blood in the first 2 episodes.
Bruh.
It's every couple episodes actually.
Which I think is somewhat disappointing.
Childish.
It's disappointing for such a
Well, you see,
violent show to just be censoring it.
well, the censoring for people who are watching this and don't know, the censoring is due to the earlier showing times in Japan. So obviously they don't want.
The kids to
Apparently
see
they
it.
don't want blood and stuff shown to younger audiences. However, they haven't even released a uncensored version, which is pretty disappointing, to be quite honest.
Not only that, but the change in studio is also quite disappointing. The original was animated really good, and it supported the story of the show to a great degree. But I think the animation has actually let down the show quite a bit from what I've
The
seen.
animation isn't horrible, but there are times when it lacks. The fights are still really good. The fights are still animated very well, but the still shots aren't as good as they were previously. That's the main problem. But you haven't watched this new season, have you?
No, not as yet. I am still yet to catch up on season 2. The show kind of let me down at the end. I think that was due to the simulcast though.
And Red Rantic, you've obviously caught up with this.
Oh, I've been on the grind, my boys. So, past week, I think I spent 3 days of my past week, and I just watched all of 7 Deadly Sins. And so far, it's been an enjoyable ride. And the lead on from last season to this season was pretty smooth. It's just, it was disappointing and confusing with the censorship of the blood. And I'm liking some of the deeper building, character building that's going on with the members of the Deadly Sins, which I'm really enjoying that.
Especially with Gauther, Diane, and King. Yeah,
it is really bringing a lot more attention to the quote unquote weaker sins, which is nice.
Well, as someone who's caught up with the manga, I have to say the manga is a lot better and a lot more fluent and rewarding.
Yeah, you
have I find than the anime.
The manga
for
quite some time.
Where the manga is up to at the moment, it's almost the end of the story, and it's the epilogue. Really, are you caught up, Tea Tree? Yes.
So
It's very exciting, but also very saddening at the moment, isn't it?
The hype is gone.
But if anyone's looking at this, I would highly recommend reading the manga. If you're not interested in the show, the manga is a lot better to get into, in my opinion.
So we'll move on now instead and go on to my favorite genre of anime. We'll go on to the isekai genre.
Cautious Hero.
The Cautious Hero series.
Oh no.
Which is a bit of a riff. It is
actually really good.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
I've enjoyed the first 3 episodes. I haven't watched much further than that. I thought it got quite old quite quickly, but I enjoyed my time with it in the first 3 episodes.
I can agree so much with it. First episode, second episode, I absolutely loved it. I just love this new twist of isekai that it brought in. Just having someone so overpowered that it just broke it. But
then,
yeah. But then 4th, 5th episode came, and I'm like, it's still going exactly how it was in the first episode. We've had no
didn't adapt
extension. Yeah, it hasn't extended or hasn't kept the viewers wanting to watch more. It's just been the same episode, reskinned.
If you go past the 3 episode rule, it does have a little bit more depth to it, where there was a point where, spoilers, there's a leader who attacked one of the demon kings, and most of her men died, but then the hero told him or her that it's because of their carelessness that so many died. So there's sort of some depth to it.
Yeah, some sort of twist.
It's the development of the hero. He's not just a douchebag.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on from that then. And Teacher, I know you've been wanting to talk about this, seeing as you brought it up at the beginning of the podcast. But Fate Grand Order, Babylonia. What are your thoughts on that at the moment?
The episodes have been really well done. Although there's some CGI and 3D stuff that are really wonky and really questionable, the choreography is still good. And if you look at I think the recent episode, the recent fight against the goddess Gorgon is really such an amazing feat, especially for the Fate series.
Well, might have to give it a watch then later on down the track.
Yes, you guys have to. And then there's gonna be a movie. I'm selling out here. There's gonna be a movie.
When's the movie coming out?
So watch out for that. I don't know when though.
Well, Another anime I've been wanting to talk about. Are you guys finished on that yet or not? Do you want to keep?
I would just like to mention that Fate Granddaughter is based on the gacha, and I don't think I want to watch this because I think I'll probably end up getting addicted to that gacha and end up gambling most of my life savings away. So
You've already done that in CS:GO.
Not wrong. All right, I'll let you go on now.
All right. Well, one of the anime, quote unquote anime, that I've been wanting to talk about this podcast is Ruby, of course.
Oh yes, it's a anime.
It's bad.
Yes, Western anime. Yes,
It's so bad.
this season Ruby this season has been a lot better, in my opinion, than previous seasons.
It really hasn't.
We've seen a lot more development, and I love all the new styles of the characters.
I hate it.
If you haven't watched Ruby, I highly recommend it.
It's really bad.
But, we don't need your opinion here.
Look, alright, I grinded Ruby over 3 days, and I saw the decline. The show has declined so much. It's actually quite sad.
I could say the same about One Piece, but I would get fined for that.
But you're right, so...
Yeah.
No, Ruby's alright this season. I think it's kind of... It's getting better. It's getting better, definitely. But it's still not at what its peak was. Which is a bit disappointing.
I like how it's not as aimless. Like, the past couple of seasons, it's felt a little bit aimless with them just wandering like Remnant and just not doing anything, really. The occasional fight. But now it has actual plot to it. And last season as well, it was a lot more plot-driven with all the maidens and the lamp and everything. All the sacred relics. That was really interesting to me.
I think a big problem I have with the show is none of the characters actually have any individual goals. They have a group goal of restoring Remnant, right? But they don't have any individual paths. Just to spoil last episode, unfortunately, or a couple episodes ago, they got their huntsman licenses, but it didn't really feel like it meant anything.
They even said that in the show. They said it doesn't feel like it's a big achievement because they've already been through so much. Yeah,
but it should have meant something because that's what their goal was through the entire series. There was no development in those characters after getting it. I think there should have been.
I felt like they've gone through enough that the huntsman license isn't something that is important anymore. It's not something that.
But what's their goal then? Focus. What is their individual goal though?
Their goal, well, through the lamp and everything, their goal is to stop Salem now.
Yeah, as a group, but there's no individual characters there. Well, they don't have any individual intentions.
Well, Blake wants to scissor Yang. So.
We should just end it there and move on to the next anime. We should just move on.
Yeah, the gay vibes in the show are kind of bad. Alright, speaking of gay vibes, Beastars, they're furries, it's a thing.
Just skip it.
Yeah.
Well, none of us have watched Beastars, have we?
No.
I have.
You haven't?
Do you want to touch on it?
I have.
Touch on it, please.
I really have to touch it? Well, Beastars, it looks furry. If you have seen Modest Basement clickbait title, it's not for furries. Which is just a lie. It's for furries.
Oh, how would you know that?
Perfect.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, it looks interesting enough, but I just don't think it's for me, personally.
The CG, I don't know. The CG puts me off. If it wasn't CG, I might give it a watch, but it just puts me off a little bit.
As much as it's an Orange production, which is the same people that made Land of the Lost Tourist, it just doesn't have the same awe and the same vibe that Land of the Lost Tourist had in terms of its CG. I feel like this could be traditionally animated and have a much better overall feel to the show and make it a bit more approachable.
It's in like a modern sort of setting. That's probably why. And then we've got like anthropomorphized animals, which
kind of don't fit in.
It's not to everyone's taste.
Yeah, which is fair enough, I suppose.
Honestly, it reminds me of Fantastic Mr. Fox. If any of you know of that movie,
dude, I've
never heard of that.
That wasn't. The book was better. The book was better.
Amen.
What a top tier movie.
Well,
that's about That's the majority of the stuff.
Well,
this
I would
season.
I would like to mention, because we obviously didn't do anything for the shows last season, but we'll talk about the continuing ones. One that I've really been enjoying myself has been Doctor Stone, which I think is just brilliant, to be frank.
It's a really good way for non-anime watchers to get to watch anime.
Yeah.
It's fairly approachable in its stance, and then it's also quite relatable with its science aspects.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think the story in general is just really interesting.
And on the other hand, we have Fire Force, which has become a disappointment to all of us.
I'm sorry, but I disagree.
So you've continued watching it, right, Red Rantic?
I have.
I have as well.
How is it?
I do have to agree that it did have its low points midway through the season, but I believe that was just like a stepping stone into the deeper story. So right now, it's really starting to take place. Some of the bigger fights have come and more important characters are being introduced, and the story is getting to a point where it's getting really exciting. Next few episodes I'm really looking forward to, as there's a guaranteed nice fight coming up, and overall I'm really enjoying it. It's just the power scales is interesting. I like how they're able to use fire in their different ways and the creativity that the producers have made this. And yeah, overall it's fairly good.
I mean, I really enjoyed the animation style to begin with. I think David Productions did a great job, but my problem with the series came with the characters, and I don't think they took the show seriously enough. I don't think it took the show seriously enough in its subject matter, and they just put jokes in where it didn't really fit with the serious tone.
I can agree with that.
Which I think kind of ruined that for me. Ruined all the suspense. But I might pick it up again.
About, like, the role as firefighters, they obviously have to have like a light or wholehearted tone, so that for the victims to be feeling comfortable. It's just sort of like relating it to real life.
It just felt a bit.
I can relate to this, of what you're saying. I am a part of a fire brigade myself, but it's very much like it, that sort of camaraderie. It's you come back from sort of devastating situations like car crashes, things like that, but at the end of the day, everyone is able to shrug it off and still have a good time and still laugh together, not let those sort of things affect it. And that's what this detail of it as well is also intertwined into the anime, which is good.
Well, one of the things that really bugged me is in one of the fights, they were fighting and their lives were on the line. However, they didn't act like it. They didn't fight like their lives were on the line. They just...
It's fine for afterwards, but during the fights, it's a bit unsettling.
They acted silly during the fight where they were risking everything, and it just didn't feel right to me. I'm not sure.
Well, the last thing we'll talk about this season then is the movie that came out, Black Fox, which was a movie about ninjas and science kind of coming together. It was an interesting movie. Did anyone else watch it, or?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
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 Alright, I'll talk about this alone then. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first half of the movie, but the second half I found kind of boring. I thought the subplot of the science girl, I don't even remember her name, but I thought the subplot of her and her father was kind of meaningless, and I think it should have focused more on the main character. But that'll about do it for that then.
Yeah.
With that, I suppose we'll move on to Winter 2020 and everything that's coming up next. So what I'm really excited for next season, and what we've waited quite some time for, is the 4th season of Haikyuu.
Oh, yes.
It's finally happening, boys.
Finally here.
So this series has a pretty close place to many of our hearts, I think. Both Jesus Kun and myself got really into volleyball after watching this. We tried to start our own team and whatnot. Which
How did that go?
Yeah, how did that go?
we enjoyed it while it lasted. But I can't wait to watch it, to be completely honest. All the PVs that I've watched so far look really cool.
Mm. Well, it's gonna be good to see the what happens next. I'm pretty sure it's a training arc, so
Yeah, and there's an OVA which is in the view of the Nekos, the other team, the rival team.
Yeah, I saw that. Speaking of, there's also a another ONA, an OVA of like a stop motion with Nendroids or something that's also coming up next season, which might be interesting.
possibly. Oh yeah, I
Um,
see that. I see that now.
So we'll move on from that then, and we'll talk about the third season of Railgun. So I've nearly caught up. I've watched the first season of Railgun, and I'll probably end up trying to tune into this, but I think it should be alright. The entire kind of subgenre that a certain magical index has created is all pretty interesting. So, teacher, you're caught up as well, right?
I've caught up, yeah.
What do you think of is coming up next season for this?
Railgun, I'm not really sure because I prefer the Magic series,
Yeah,
the Magical Index.
that's
Because Railgun
fair.
is just a sell off and
Yeah,
targeting the Japan. It's
Yeah.
weird.
that's fair. Are you gonna say something, Jesus Kun?
Oh no, I wasn't going to say anything.
All right then. We'll move on then. We've got some other spin-off Madoka Magica thing.
Madoka Magica, yes,
Oh,
another
oh,
season
yes,
of Madoka Magica. I
That's
can
actually really good.
I can talk about this. Madoka Magica, very good show. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. You know, it's just flawless.
I don't know. I saw some tranny dress up at a con or something. I don't know.
It's supposed to
whack.
be weird.
So this new season of Madoka Magica, it should be really good. We got some new characters. We got some other new stuff, and it's looking to be really interesting. Some of the trailer was pretty good, so I'm looking forward to it. Have you caught up, Tea Tree?
I've caught up a little bit. I still have to rewatch it because I've forgotten some of the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the whole universe of Madoka Magica, isn't there?
There is
Yeah,
there's too much.
a little bit too much. Yeah.
It's just never been a show I could get behind.
Mm.
Not sure.
And moving on, we got Isekai Quartet second season. I
Ooh.
haven't personally watched this, but I know No Soul Noah has. So we'll let you take over for this one.
Oh, Isekai Quartet is great fun. It's just fun. You just watch all your favorite characters, and they're just interacting with each other, really. And it's just some good fun. Teacher, you've watched it as well, right?
Oh
Pardon?
no.
I thought you said you watched the first season.
I watched like 3 episodes and then I forgot about it.
I definitely recommend giving the first season a watch, especially
I'll watch it.
especially if you've watched all of the isekais that are in it. You just see all your favorite characters again. Some from series that you may never see again. So it's just nice to see them all again. To be
I have
quite
to say,
frank.
I am excited to see the addition of Shield Hero characters and reincarnated in another world as slime characters. The addition of those is going to be pretty interesting.
It's gonna
might
be
have-
the best.
I might have to give it a watch. Honestly, I love Rimuru, so
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Honestly, after recently watching ReZero and now being more familiar with some of the characters that are included in Isekai Quartet, it's looking really delicious. I can say, yeah.
It's
Very
a lot more
delectable.
better if you know what the characters. I wouldn't really recommend going into this as just a show that you watch if you haven't watched all the other ones. It's more of a
Yeah.
side content for all those other shows, really.
Mm.
Like gags.
Mm.
Yeah.
Little gags.
gags based off the animes. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Also, another spin-off thing, Heya Camp, which is a little spin-off of Euro Camp. It continues on from the first season. It's not quite a second season. The second season is coming later, but I think this is a 2-episode special sort of thing. So it should be really interesting. I love the characters of Eurocamp, so I'm looking forward to this heaps. What about you, T-Tree?
Hopefully, this is gonna be as relaxing as the first
Yeah,
season.
the first season was
I mean-
so good.
So relaxing.
I mean, I never watched the original Eurocamp. I've watched one episode or two, but I don't think I was vibing with it enough. It looks interesting though. I'll probably give it a watch one rainy night.
It's just something that you have to. It's not something super interesting per se. It's just very fun to watch and see the characters.
You have to watch it while on your bed with the heater on, and then like an air conditioning, and then just a blanket.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
That kind of show.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Is there anything else this season that anyone's particularly interested in? Sorry, next season, or not?
Nothing really's caught my attention yet, but we'll definitely see a lot more coming a bit closer to the season. I'll probably pick up a few just to try out, see what there is, pretty much.
Yeah,
There
there's
is-
the movies as well.
Yeah, the Made in Abyss movie and the Goblin Slayer movie.
Those are the two main ones.
I'm
that I'm
quite
waiting
excited for the Goblin Slayer movie, Goblin's Crown.
You
As
can watch some guys roll some dice.
yeah, pretty much.
Actually,
We never
we
even
missed
rolled the
one movie.
dice. What
Adventure
movie?
movie.
What movie did we miss?
Digimon Adventure.
Yeah.
Digimon?
Last Evolution.
Digimon. Yes.
I've always loved my Digimon for some reason.
Digimon.
Digimon's top tier. Always in my heart.
Yes.
It's weird thinking this is the third Made in Abyss movie, and we still haven't got a second season. So
I mean,
Technically, the first two movies aren't even its own separate movies.
no, they're technically recaps, pretty
Yeah.
much. So probably after this movie, they'll probably announce a second season. As for the Goblin Slayer movie, as I think the only person here that's actually watched Goblin Slayer and didn't just get turned off by all the rape that was thrown around
I watched
at the
that bit of
start.
it. I just didn't enjoy the characters.
See, I did enjoy the characters, especially Cheese Wheel Lizard. He was great.
Blizzard was bad.
No, but I really enjoyed it. I really can't wait for the movie to come out. I'll probably give it a watch. I'll probably give it a 10 out of 10. And it'll be pretty good.
It's a bit biased.
A little bit.
I'm just joking, of course, but
Cool.
Well, also, what else is there? Yeah, there's nothing else really that catches my eye next season. Besides maybe a couple of things I might pick up, but who knows?
Here.
We'll see as it comes.
Besides Bang Dream, the third season, I cannot wait for that.
Oh, yes, I'm in that idol hell.
Idle Hell, here we go.
Here we go.
Right, well, yeah,
Was there anything else we were excited about or wanted to say?
not really. There's nothing. Next season definitely isn't as interesting as
This season.
this season or seasons beforehand.
Hmm.
I find that disappointing because it's the start of 2020. Obviously, last year, the first season was an absolute banger. We had a lot of good stuff.
Is Doctor Stone getting a season 2?
Doctor Stone will get a season 2, surely.
We'll get a
Especially-
season 2.
Especially seeing as it's sponsored by Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
It is.
2020 is going to be a big year as well.
I mean, I can't really get behind most of the things next season, but hopefully seasons after that live up to it.
I'm mostly excited. I'm excited for a lot of stuff next year. I think next year will be really good. There's a lot of sequels that are currently announced that we'll talk about closer when they get closer to.
Confirmed. Two more seasons of Shield Hero. Yes.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with Arifureta season 2.
Sorry, I'm down for the Kobayashi Dragon Maid.
But we'll talk about those as they approach. Hopefully, we don't forget to do the podcast next time.
You're funny.
Okay, Boomer. So that'll just about do it for today then. I've been No So Noah, and I've been joined by
Jesus Kun.
Red Rantic.
Dio.
Tea tree.
And thank you guys so much for watching, guys. If you liked this podcast, go check out our other ones. They were pretty good. Give us a like give us a subscribe, and yeah, you enjoy watching anime and stuff.
Yeah. Catch you guys later. Have fun watching our videos, our shit videos.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
I'm a
Bye.
vlog,
I'll
yeah.
miss you.
Bye bye.